somebody who could come in and
We know how to clean up the streets. I mean, Gavin Newsom cleaned up the streets of San Francisco when Xi Jinping showed up. I mean, it's just an act of the will. They don't want to do it.
Right, like when they get the whores off the street, when the mayor is like doing one of those cleanup.
Or like when the MLB All-Star game goes to Seattle, all of a sudden it's America's cleanest city.
Right. So you're saying if we can do it that one day.
Well, I'm saying it's an act of the will. It's all that it is. And look, woke, I won't even say left, woke philosophy is they don't really believe in private property. And at its core, why shouldn't someone be able to defecate on the side of the street? Who are you to judge?
Woke, yes, maybe.
I'm saying woke, not even liberal.
Right.
I'm making that distinction,
right,
which I think is a fair distinction.
That's another reason. Another one we can add to the list of woke is not liberal.
No, and I think left versus liberal or woke versus liberal is an important distinction.
Right.
I will say what makes you different is few liberals stand up to the woke. And few liberals are willing to stand up to woke.
Absolutely, and few conservatives stand up to Trump.
Fair enough. I mean, you can stand up or disagree, but I guess you could say the question, is Trump, woke is an ideology. Is Trump an ideology? I mean, he's a person. MAGA is an ideology. But I mean, I disagree with Trump on a lot of stuff.
Bill Maher is back at it, and this time, he's swinging harder than ever. He's once again ripped into the woke left, torching what he calls their obsession with anti-reason policies and flat-out absurd philosophies. Now, this isn't exactly shocking. Maher has built an entire reputation in recent years for pushing back against the extremes of woke culture. But this latest takedown? It hits different. Sharper. Hotter. Every word drips with the kind of blunt honesty that makes headlines and rattles the echo chambers. This wasn't just another critique, it was a full-on verbal scorcher, loaded with bite, sarcasm, and zero hesitation. Oh, buckle up, because this rant isn't just fiery, it's explosive. And it's absolutely worth diving into.
You've been very outspoken on the woke stuff, big time.
Oh, yes. I mean, and they, just the way within a religion, they hate their own apostates more. I would say they hate me more because I'm supposed to like get on the short bus to Crazy Town with them, and I won't. And yet I'm still a liberal and still like, you know, I mean, we probably could argue all day about Donald Trump and what he's doing, which I'm not down with. But, you know, it's always the people who are closest who think, oh gosh, you shouldn't have, you're a traitor.
Bill Maher nailed it by calling the woke left Crazy Town. Because honestly, that's exactly what it feels like, an upside-down carnival of chaos. What makes it even more absurd is how they expect everyone else to just fall in line without question, like their every word is sacred truth. They demand blind loyalty, not open debate, and that's where it all falls apart. Their policies aren't grounded in logic or reason, they don't actually solve problems. If anything, they pile on new ones while pretending it's progress. And no matter how loud they shout or how hard they push, most Americans can see straight through it, and they're not signing up for the madness.
I was going to ask, is it because they thought you were one of them and that...
I am one of them. They're not one of me. Okay. It's the liberals who have...
So they've left you, not you left.
Yeah, well, I feel like there's... Liberal and woke are two completely different things. It was the theme of my last stand-up special that I just did a few months ago. And it's basically... I mean, it wasn't the whole special, of course, but it was a large part of it devoted to that, to proving that case that, you know, what liberals believe, woke is something completely different. It's very often the opposite of it.
Frankly, I think Bill Maher distanced himself from the woke left because it was spiraling into outright toxicity. That's exactly why they brand him a traitor, not because he changed, but because he stopped parroting their script. In their minds, he must have sold out, chasing fame or fortune, or some hidden motive they can't quite name. But the truth is much simpler. Maher didn't betray them. He outgrew them. He walked away from a movement that abandoned reason long before he abandoned it, and that's what really stings. The rejection didn't come from them. It came from him.
Liberalism is, let's live in a colorblind society. That's the goal. Woke's goal is, we see race everywhere.
Race obsession.
Yes. Okay. So that's not liberal. You changed. Liberal is, there are two-state solution. Woke is river to the sea. Okay. So just don't take my word and say you're that. You took this and took it to, you got off the F train, you fell asleep, and you got off the 20 stops too far, and don't blame me for that.
Bill Maher shines a spotlight on the glaring divide between classic liberalism and the new woke ideology, and frankly, he makes sense. Now, let's be clear here on this channel. We don't align with everything Maher stands for. But at least we can tolerate him. And that, at its core, is what liberalism has always been about, the freedom to disagree without being destroyed for it. Woke ideology, on the other hand, demands absolute conformity. Step even slightly out of line and you're not just criticized, you're cancelled, shamed, and punished. That's the difference. And Maher isn't afraid to call it out.
You don't drink?
No.
Or smoke pot?
No.
And you're married and super Christian. We're going to get along great.
You know, this is going to just be perfect.
But can I just ask you, because I want to find out a lot about you, because you're obviously a super bright guy, but you do think that I have the right to live completely opposite than you do.
I think you can get as drunk as you'd like.
And you're that kind of an American, right? You're
Yes,
you're not forcing your opinions as.
I'm not here to say you can't. What are you talking?
Say whatever you want about Bill Maher and Charlie, but one thing you can't accuse them of is silencing opposing voices. Unlike the woke crowd that tries to stamp out dissent, these two actually welcome it. They hold strong, often controversial opinions, yet they don't shove them down anyone's throat. Instead, they create space for real debate, where opposing perspectives can clash and still coexist. They'd rather have a spirited exchange than sit inside a one-sided echo chamber, and that's rare these days. Agree or disagree with them, you'll at least be heard. And that's what real dialogue should look like.
To sometimes parties like the Hollywood parties, and this is probably not most of America exactly this way, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's that different. And first of all, in this town, it's all run by like the Nepo babies. The Nepo babies, the trust fund kids, is all these little 22-year-old
The J.B. Pritzker types.
Well,
I'm kidding.
No, I'm sure. I know who you mean. The governor of Illinois.
He inherited the Hyatt.
Oh,
fortune,
sure.
You know,
well,
Nepo baby. I mean,
we invented Nepo baby out here. Okay, but yes, it's everywhere now.
It really shouldn't surprise anyone that many of the loudest woke policies in America are being championed by Nepo babies in Hollywood. Now, this isn't to say they're all talentless. Some of them genuinely are skilled at what they do. But let's be honest, their success wasn't built purely on hard work. They were born into privilege, raised with every advantage, and shielded from the daily struggles most Americans face. From the moment they could walk, their last names opened doors while their celebrity parents kept them insulated from the harsh realities of real life. So when they preach policies that defy common sense, it's not coming from experience or hardship. It's coming from the comfort of a world where rent, gas, and groceries were never a concern. That disconnect is exactly why their version of progress feels so completely out of touch with reality.
You're right. You know, I mean, again, I'm for picking that fruit too. It's silly to help drug addicts be drug addicts and keep them on the street. It's stupid to keep homeless on the street.
Oh, I totally agree.
As another way, liberals are different than the woke. The liberal thing forever was, for compassion's sake, get them off the street. That's not the woke version. Their version is, they're an endangered species. Don't touch them in their natural habitat, living under a bridge.
Let them defecate. Let them do whatever they want.
It's their thing. And, you know, I mean, there should be nothing more basic than a government claiming the streets. The streets are for the citizens.
Here, Bill Maher unleashes a brutal critique of Gavin Newsom and other progressive governors who seem to believe the best way to tackle America's drug crisis is by handing out more drugs. Yes, you heard that right. The very people entrusted to solve the problem think enabling addicts is somehow compassionate. Combine that with their so-called sanctuary city policies, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Just take a walk through the major streets of California today. What you'll see is nothing short of heartbreaking and infuriating. Once thriving neighborhoods have turned into open-air drug dens, addicts slumped on sidewalks, homeless encampments stretching for blocks. The stench, the needles, the sheer sense of decay. It's an eyesore and a public safety nightmare rolled into one. Maher isn't afraid to call it like it is. These policies aren't saving lives, they're destroying cities.
Why are these things, maybe you can answer that, why are these kind of things so difficult? You think, such common sense, build a barracks. I know homeless people say they don't want to live there. You don't have a choice. Oh, we'll get robbed there. Hire security, it's pennies on the dollar. Why is it so difficult? I feel like I, with no real knowledge of this field, could do it. If I had people who would carry out I would say, okay, get me specs. I want to see where a place we could build it. I want to see what the barracks looks like. I want to see who works there. Is it really in the toilets? Whatever.
When you're living on the streets, the harsh truth is you don't get much say in how the government intervenes. But let's be absolutely clear. The streets are not residences. And no matter how advocates try to spin it, they should never be treated as such. Life on the pavement isn't dignified. It isn't sustainable. And it certainly isn't safe. That's why the ultimate goal must be to get people off the streets, not enable them to remain there indefinitely. And as for the argument that relocating the homeless makes them vulnerable to robbery, what exactly do they have on the streets that can't already be taken from them? Living in tents under overpasses, exposed to crime, disease, and addiction, offers no real protection or security. Simply put, the streets are not a home. Pretending otherwise only prolongs the suffering.
Somebody who could come in and
We know how to clean up the streets. I mean, Gavin Newsom cleaned up the streets of San Francisco when Xi Jinping showed up. I mean, it's just an act of the will. They don't want to do it.
Right, like when they get the whores off the street, when the mayor is like doing one of those cleanup.
Or like when the MLB All-Star game goes to Seattle, all of a sudden it's America's cleanest city.
Right. So you're saying if we can do it that one day.
Well, I'm saying it's an act of the will. It's all that it is. And look, woke, I won't even say left, woke philosophy is they don't really believe in private property. And at its core, why shouldn't someone be able to defecate on the side of the street? Who are you to judge?
It doesn't take endless excuses to get people off the streets. It takes political will. Gavin Newsom already proved that. When a world leader came to visit San Francisco, the city was cleaned up almost overnight. The tents, the trash, the open-air drug markets, all of it vanished as if it had never been there. That moment exposed the truth. The resources and solutions are there when the pressure is on. But here's the catch. When it comes to everyday Californians, that urgency mysteriously disappears. Instead of real action, the woke mob stages theatrics. They hold press conferences, toss around buzzwords like compassion, and pat themselves on the back while the crisis festers. It's never about solving the problem. It's about looking good on camera. If they truly cared, they'd treat ordinary citizens with the same urgency they show for VIPs. Fixing the streets is possible. They just lack the will.
Woke, yes, maybe.
I'm saying woke, not even liberal.
Right.
I'm making that distinction,
Right,
which I think is
good.
a fair distinction.
That's another reason. Another one we can add to the list of woke is not liberal.
I think left versus liberal or woke versus liberal is an important distinction.
Right.
I will say what makes you different is few liberals stand up to the woke.
And
few liberals are willing to stand up to woke.
Absolutely. And few conservatives stand up to Trump.
Fair enough. I mean, you can stand up or disagree, but I guess you could say the question, is Trump, woke is an ideology. Is Trump an ideology? I mean, he's a person. MAGA is an ideology. But I mean, I disagree with Trump on a lot of stuff.
Charlie Kirk makes a point many overlook. Woke isn't just a trend, it's an ideology. And that distinction matters. Donald Trump is a single individual. You can vote him out, silence him on social media, or see him fade from public life. But woke isn't tied to one person. It functions like a virus of ideas. Once it takes root, it doesn't leave quietly. Tea spreads through schools, entertainment, media, and culture, often reaching young and impressionable minds before they've even had the chance to develop real-world experience. That's what makes it so powerful, and so dangerous. A person has limits. An ideology doesn't. It lingers, evolves, multiplies, embedding itself in every institution willing to host it. And Charlie's right. If people don't confront it directly, woke will keep growing long after Trump is out of the picture.
Met the man.
Yes.
Do you think he actually believes that? Like he would do that?
It's worse if he does or would. It's still horrible that an American president would say that. Look me in the eye and tell me if Obama had said that, what your reaction would be.
Wouldn't like it.
Wouldn't like it. I think it would be a little more vitriolic than that.
We'd be
apoplectic.
Upset.
Okay. I'm finding out how honest you are, Charlie, and so far I think you're doing good.
Charlie Kirk stands apart because he isn't afraid to call out his own side when he believes they're wrong. Unlike much of the left, where self-criticism is treated like a taboo, Charlie is willing to hold his allies accountable. His positions aren't rooted in party loyalty. They come from deeply held personal convictions that have shaped his life and worldview. And he's not shy about voicing them, even if it means publicly disagreeing with someone as influential as Donald Trump. That independence is what makes him different. Contrary to what Bill Maher and others often assume, Charlie doesn't idolize Trump or treat him as untouchable. He respects him, yes, but he's not a blind follower. On certain issues, he has no problem breaking ranks and standing firm on his own ground. That ability to disagree without abandoning principle is rare in today's political climate, and it's exactly why his voice resonates. At the end of the day, what sets voices like Maher's and Charlie's apart is their willingness to challenge both sides. Maher exposes the absurdities of woke ideology, while Charlie proves loyalty doesn't mean blind obedience, even to Trump. Together, they highlight a truth often lost in today's politics. Real dialogue requires honesty, independence, and the courage to confront uncomfortable realities. America doesn't need more theatrics or echo chambers. It needs leaders unafraid to think, speak, and act with principle. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.